Good morning, my beautiful ladies and chooms. Today I bring another Cyberpunk video, this time covering everything you missed in the godforsaken Santo Domingo. But to make it a bit more spicy, I'm ranking them based on coolness. Yeah, coolness. I'll rank them from that's kinda cool, to holy shit, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. So unzip those pants and grab that tissue box. This is ranking every Santo Domingo secret in Cyberpunk. But before we start, we definitely have to answer a quick question first. Like, what the hell is Santo Domingo? Santo Domingo, Domingo, San Domo. In a sentence, it's one of the oldest districts of Night City, and it's a hellscape suburbia, the inland empire of Cyberpunk. Here you'll find towering mega buildings next to gas-spewing factories, next to thousands of crumbling single-family American homes. And the streets? Yeah, they belong to 6th Street, a gang of ex-military patriots turned McCree-like vigilantes. Even the official art book doesn't pull punches, comparing San Domo to your trashy cousin's backyard full of broken down pickups and moldy garden gnomes. That's verbatim, by the way. It's a place with cheap land and a constant turnover, where corporates come to fight and where dirt gets swept clean to make room for the next one. But some stains don't wash easy, which brings me to our first secret. To start the list, we have why you don't mess with animal food. Fast travel to Kendall Park and head south into the neighborhood. There on Woodhaven is a home with a flag and a blue crate in the yard, and 3 bodies hugging the floor. The 2 in front are animals, which you can tell by how thick, girthy, and veiny they are. But the dude in back's just a regular dude, not exactly Prince Charming. And that blue crate's not hiding chairs, tables, or other random furniture. No, it's hiding a lab, a chem lab, the kind of lab that'll get you killed. See, this is Olga Jessop, and this is Prince Boehner. Prince was one of San Domo's local dealers, and his last package went to Olga. Olga asked to meet because apparently she was sold something bad, something Timu-like. She tested the shipment and found Prince was cutting his stuff with filler, so he offered to pay her back in eddies. Good old Prince. But Olga had another currency in mind. On Prince's body is a stack of eddies and tier 5 tire irons, which tells us the kind of payment Olga was looking for. As for Olga and her friend, well, the pretty little piece clutched in Prince's hand tells us their part of the story. No happy endings here, just broken knees and promises. Up next, we have the secret Rim Reaper. Fast travel to Mega Building H4, then head left towards the DTR building. When you reach the street, look left towards the Tire Empire Auto Shop. It was under different management before the Tinos. But what if I said the previous owner was still hanging around? Head out back and you'll find a basketball court. On the ground is a sleeping Sixer, and a man dunked at first like Clyde's mom in that South Park episode.
Bob?
God damn. This is Alex Stevens, and on his body are eddies and item components. And he owned this shop before striking a pose every man has tried once in their life, of course. Now he's hung like an ornament thanks to the animals. See, before his death, Alex was in talks with Woody, one of his chooms in 6th Street. That day, a group of animals decided to LARP as raccoons, trashing cars and scaring away customers. Alex had enough and asked if 6 could help. Woody asked if they were there now, and Alex said they were, marking their territory in the court out back. He warned there was a pack of them, but Woody was confident. Off the alpha and the rest will run. Well, at least we know Woody had big huevos. Poor Alex should have called you up instead. And at 19, did you know robot laws exist in Cyberpunk? The 3 laws of robotics, or Asimov's laws, are a set of rules robots are supposed to follow, and they're named after sci-fi choom Isaac Asimov. The rules are simple. 1, robots can't harm humans. 2, robots must follow orders. And 3, robots must protect themselves unless it breaks the first 2 rules. Simple, right? But what if I said there's a robot in Night City not following them? Fast travel to the Arasaka Industrial Park, then turn towards the freight yard across the street. There are hundreds of crates, no thousands, all color coordinated. So look for the pile of red ones with a sus looking brown one up front. There you'll find a lone robot standing guard. The tin can instantly hates you, so put it down Cyberpunk style. And it wasn't guarding anything good or valuable, just 500 eddies and a pile of bodies. This is Arthur Narvy. This was his crew. Arthur was the Sixer tasked to pick up the robot, but Arthur had doubts about the units, and he even mentioned the 3 laws we talked about before. He told his boss Jen that the robot was malfunctioning, and it was the 3rd one he's seen this month. Jen, like a typical baby boomer boss, didn't care, and Arthur was told to make it work. We know how that ended. But dude, now I can't help but imagine how sick a robot uprising would be in Cyberpunk 2. Let's make it happen, CD Projekt Red. Up next is the tragic life of Dean Simmons. Fast travel to Mega Building H6 in Arroyo, then look right at the sexy billboard. To its left is a storage tank, that's where we need to go. The quickest way is to hop the fence up front. There you'll find an abandoned Supron and stairs leading to the top. Fair warning, there's something creepy up there, something sad and spooky. When you get top, head left to find a body, a slumped over body with bullet holes around. This is Dean Simmons, and on him is a tier 1 sniper. What happened? Well, Dean was a corpo who fed intel to 6th Street, but his last tip got him burned real bad. His Sixer friend Bill told him there was armed hustle all over the last transport. 6th Street blood was spilled, and you know how that goes. Apparently the gang blamed Dean for the mess, so Bill warned him that he needed to flee Night City fast. He needed to leave everything behind and just get out. But it looks like Dean didn't make it far. But now a bigger question, what was he going to do with that sniper? Dude, with a 6th Street hideout nearby, he was probably planning on taking revenge into his own hands. That would have been spicy. Leave an F in the comment for poor old Dean. Up next is the Diddy of Night City. Bro, that's a damn title. Fast travel to Hargreave Street in Arroyo, then turn and follow the road north. Squint your eyes so you don't miss 2 shipping crates by a garage, because this garage is where we need to be. Out front are 3 doors, and one of them is lit. And if you're a Tech 10 chum, you can open the door and look around. Inside you'll find a bunch of items, including a tier 5 Noosa shirt and a motorcycle cap. And in the back, a laptop and a shard addressed to Bartolomeo Mortellini. Now some backstory. Bart is an entertainer, a partier, and a weirdo. Yeah, legit creepy. His yacht Geisha, emphasis on the shh by the way, is infamous for wild unfiltered parties. The kind of parties that'll get your ancestors to turn like rotisserie chicken. And Fart Bart himself is connected to Night City's elites. See, you can actually find Bart at Konpeki Plaza. And later he's mentioned in a gig with Dino. So what makes these parties legendary? Sure, guests might be eager to satisfy their needs, but what if it's something darker? Let's get out of the Matrix and come back to the garage. This is the garage of Bart's supplier, and the shard here is an order for his next party, and it tells us 3 things. 1. Deliveries are sent directly to his yacht, no funny business. 2. The goods are supposed to be harmless, Bart doesn't want any bodies. And 3. The goods are to be laced with blue powder, a potent substance that amplifies certain urges. Dude, this budget Tom Cruise is spiking drinks. An absolute piece of Night City trash that V needs to address right now. Cool secret though, what do you think? At 16, we have How Much Do Bad Friends Cost? Fast travel to Illumincar and Hedis, then head north past the bridge. Off the side are holes, and inside one is the body of Robert Czmerkowski. Bro, can someone please comment if I butchered his name? Thank you. This is Robert. Rob was a San Domo local with a recent stroke of luck. His grandma passed, leaving him with a lot of money. With the bag secured, Rob applied for a lease with Mark Elberg, and it was approved. He now had a house on Malaga Street. Looting his body will trigger a stroke of luck, where you can visit the home yourself. But the home ain't all fun and dandy. No, the entire bootleg Grove Street is filled with Sixers. But if you're quiet, you can sneak back and find a chest on the roof. Inside is a whopping 2,000 eddies and Rob's last talk. Turns out, Rob wasn't supposed to get the money. His grandma actually removed him from the will, and he excitedly told a friend about the inheritance. Friend, by the way. Rob invited him over to celebrate, and the friend wanted to bring something extra to make it special. Special for himself anyways. The deleted contact in Rob's body tells us all we need to know about the celebration. And at 15, we have the legend of Near Hit Nick, and an easy way to get sniper gear. Fast travel to Hargreave Street in Arroyo. See that giant pipe above? It's like staring up at an excited Optimus Prime. Keep staring and follow that pipe down and right at the next light. This will bring you to an old Kangtao factory with scaffolding on its side. Now, make like High School Musical and hop to the top. Caliente! Suave! Because lying up there is a body with a tier 5 sniper, scope, and baklava. The chum doesn't have a name, but for the sake of this video, let's call him Near Hit Nick. And Nick has a message in his pocket. A contract from the Badlands legend herself, Dakota Smith. Big D wanted a politician gone, but this dude was well protected. I'm talking drones in the air, muscle on the ground, and Trojan level protection. So D suggested keeping their distance, and Near Hit Nick did just that. But it was all for naught, and Dakota even contacts you about it later on. It's still a nice little secret that shows like a little bit of backstory. Not every merc can be successful as you. Up next is the Silence of the Lambs. I mean Silence of the Flamingos. Delamain is one of my favorite Cyberpunk characters, and I know what you newbie chooms are thinking. Ian, my handsome Filipino friend. Delamain is a taxi service, not a character, you silly goose. But you're wrong. Delamain Corporation is the taxi service. Del is the main behind it all. And as you play through the story, you'll meet Del and help him fix the business, which involves chasing down his split personalities, one of them being GLaDOS herself.
Well, you found me. Congratulations.
But the one in Santo Domingo is also interesting. In the gig epistrophe, you'll chase a runaway cab panicking over flamingos.
You seem to the curve in their beaks.
And before V can help, the AI will introduce itself.
Listen, you.
Call me Clarice.
Clarice, yup, the protagonist of Silence of the Lambs. Clarice will then task you to destroy the pink menaces, and you'll mow them down Caitlyn Jenner style. And when it's all over, V will ask if the flamingos have stopped screaming.
Well, Clarice, have the flamingos stopped screaming?
Starling.
Well, Clarice, have the lambs stopped screaming?
But now I can't help but wonder how sick a borged out Hannibal Lecter would be in Cyberpunk. Dude, imagine that. And at 13, we have the hidden treasure of Santo Domingo. Fast travel to Santa Maria Street and head south to the Coronado Freight Station. This is one of the biggest storage yards in Night City, and it's where you meet Pan Am's Denim Biscuits for the first time. But the station's more than a place for you pervy chooms. See, it's where David and his crew beat off those damn tiger claws, where Maine helps train David after the heist, and where you'll find plenty of shipping crates. Literally thousands. And if you look close, you'll spot a stack of red with a blue on top. Interesting, right? Crips over Bloods perhaps? Or is there something else? Well, you'll only find out by breaking in, and this will require Body 15. Players with enough can break the doors and find cardboard boxes, and after slicing through, treasure hidden in the back. There's about 2,000 eddies, and a mysterious message addressed to Nina. Apparently this stash belonged to Lopez, a man running from Netwatch. No idea what he did, but he needed to disappear and leave Night City. His last message is a thank you to Nina, and a reminder that he'll be in touch once he gets back. But something tells me he ain't coming back soon. But imagine he does. Maybe the next villain in Cyberpunk 2? We did slash up all his stuff, remember? At 12, we dive into the legend of Popeye the Fighter. Some of you chooms might be too young to remember Popeye, that gorilla-armed sailor who beat up villains and won the girl. But what if I said Popeye exists in Cyberpunk? And this time, things go horribly wrong. Fast travel to Hargreave Street and head south towards Mega Building H4. Make a left at the SciTech factory, then turn when you see the 6th Street tag. Climb the platform at the end, then jump left. There on your right is a fighting ring, a training grounds for 6th Street gangsters. And inside is a body with around 900 eddies and a stamina booster. This is Popeye, and he was once a proud member of the Animals, but he got kicked out and was only allowed to rejoin if he could beat a guy from 6th Street. His friend Jess warned him that he was legendary. Apparently he wasn't just a no-name fighter. The dude served as a Militech commando in the South American War. 6 doesn't let him out much because when he smells blood, something snaps. But Pop shrugged it off. He only lost once to Rhino, and Rhino is someone who even gave you a bit of trouble. So Jess spilled where you could find him, and Pop told her to keep her ear to the streets. Well, here's the big news. Pop got popped. And now we know that there's a pretty badass sixer that the gang only lets out once in a blue moon. So comment below if you think you could take him. And here we have the secret swap of Militech and Arasaka. Fast travel to Republic East and follow the road right. There in the shadows of the underpass are 2 cars, and the bodies of corpos all around. This wasn't just another corporate fight. No, it was a fight between the big daddies themselves, Arasaka and Militech. This is Asami Satō. This is Ethan Evans. I'm sure you can guess which represented which. Also, Asami Satō, by the way, is a CD Projekt Red dev, a Legend of Korra fan? Interesting. But back to the story. Asami contacted Ethan first. She captured one of his Militech spies, and to prevent it from blowing up, she offered a swap. But Ethan didn't care. That hard-headed American couldn't care less about an exchange. He was happy to off the spy himself. But Asami pulled the ace in her sleeve. She reminded him that his superiors wouldn't be too happy to learn of a mole at Militech. Remember what happened to Meredith? That was enough for Ethan to play game. They agreed on the time and place, 2 cars, no extra eyes. But if there's one thing corpos love more than making money, it's betraying each other, like a serial Cersei Lannister. I said there were 2 cars up front, but look close and there's another in the back, with 2 other agents. Both sides knew they'd betray one another, and that's probably what led to this fight. You can't trust a damn soul in this damn city. And at my favorite number 10, we have what happens to corrupted officers. Fast travel to Woodhaven Street and follow the road south. You'll know you're near the secret when you spot the abandoned police car. The siren's still on, so what's up? Well, if you head up some stairs and up a ladder, you'll eventually find a deal gone wrong. An empty table, empty chairs, and 2 ICE officers. Whoa, but don't hold your breath too long. See, these gonks deserved it. This is Officer Lucas and his partner. Lucas was doing trades on the regular with Jimmy from 6th Street. This time, however, he was 60 pounds short. And I'm also 10 pounds lighter. Just wanted to let you chooms know. In his defense, the stuff was evidence, so he had to be careful. But evil Jimmy Fallon didn't take too kindly to broken promises. He asked to meet at the usual spot, alone. And of course, he told them to leave their car a few blocks away, out of sight. Well, at least good old Officer Lucas doesn't have to worry about pounds no more. And he doesn't have to worry about his boots either. So before you leave, snag that unique pair of tier 5 combat boots from his musty body. You're welcome. And here's why you always update your gear in Cyberpunk. I promise it's worth it for you parkour-loving gamers. Fast travel to MLK and Brandon, then follow the road south until you see the combat cab building. On the same street is a building with scaffolding covered in white tarp, and at the tippy top is a secret we need to find. That means you gotta start climbing, so take your time and jump up one by one. There you'll find blood leaking through, and the body of Tom Morris. Tom was a solo hired by Ted Fox, and Ted's the reporter we met covering the scandals of Kendachi. Ted wanted Tom to observe the factory to see if Kendachi was conducting business with the nasty 6th Street. But Tom, this dude wanted to stay on the ground. Dude, like, what the f? Apparently his legs weren't yet calibrated, and he wasn't about to go climbing on some roofs. But Ted said he wasn't paying unless Tom started taking risks. And Tom took one alright. You can even see the pipe he broke on the way down. Tragic. But at least you can grab the 1500 eddies and Shinobi skill shard on his body. If only we could have grabbed his sticky legs too. And at 8, we have the tale of Arnold and Tex, a little Terminator Easter egg for you robot-loving friendies. Fast travel to the Arasaka Industrial Park, then turn right and follow the road north. Eventually, you'll pass a storm drain, and inside it is a crashed Bratz U4020. It's a beast of a vehicle, a big behemoth, and you can even hop inside and wreak havoc in Night City. But when you're done cyber-cycling out, come back to the scene and look around. There you'll find a crashed bike, a body, and a robot with sunglasses. I can already feel the mechanical extensions of Terminator fans extending. This is obviously Arnold, and this whole thing, the truck in the aqueduct, is a reference to the chase from Terminator 2. The nearby shard even references the movie more. There, a man named Tex is speaking to Arnold Blake, and they're talking about a guy, appropriately named Jimmy O'Connor. It can't get any more obvious. This time though, it looks like Jimmy didn't get away. But hey, at least you can grab the tier 5 revolver and eddies from the body. Cry your way to the bank with that one. And up next, we have getting the coolest coat. Fast travel to Illumincar and Jerez in Rancho Coronado. From there, look north to the broken Ferris wheel at the edge of the city. This is Cyberpunk after all, so of course people found a way to make it home. Something like the Firefly tree from Arcane Season 2. But the wheel is also hiding a secret. Beneath the center is a cabin, and in front, the body of Kendric Feller. Which is a name that sounds like my Tito asking about Kendrick Lamar. Who's that Kendric Feller? Never mind. And on Kendrick's body is a tier 5 fixer coat, what I think is one of the sexiest looking ones in the game. So Kendric was a Tiger Claw, and he was talking to Octavius from 6th Street. It seems some Sixers were causing chaos in Kendrick's part of town. They burned some wheels, slapped Reggie's grandma, and took off like maniacs. Naturally, Kendrick wanted revenge, but he at least had the decency to talk to Octavius beforehand. Oct had other plans. Sure, his boys were acting up, but boys will be boys. Nobody had to die. So he asked Kendrick to meet and talk without spilling blood. But Kendrick should have known Night City never plays fair. Now some rowdy Sixers got away, and he lost his favorite jacket. But hey, at least you'll wear it, right? And now we have the mystery of fake cops, and an easy way to grab a unique pair of tier 5 pants. Fast travel to the Dam viewpoint in Rancho Coronado. It's easily one of the nicest views you can get in the city. And when you're done with that dam view, head down the windy road of the mountain. There at the first lot is a scene ripped from a movie, a crashed truck and police cars around. Near the truck is one body, and across are 2 more officers. This is Brenton, and on him is a tier 5 armored pant, part of the techie set. He also has a shard that spills the beans of it all. So so it seems Brent was on the run, and his friend Usha was trying to get a hold of him. She warned him that he needed to turn around, he was heading straight into a trap, but Brent wasn't about to turn around in heavy ass traffic. Dude, I completely get it, and Brent stops the call to say badges are pulling him over. This is when Usha freaks. It could be them, she screams. They have NCPD uniforms. Were these not real Night City cops? What was Brent running from anyways? It all feels like a scene ripped from Breakdown where Kurt Russell runs from a gang in the Badlands. The gang even fakes being police officers. But what do you think? And at 5, we have Married to Mayhem, a short secret of a wedding gone wrong. Fast travel to Mega Building H4 in Arroyo, once home to our legendary short king David Martinez. From there, head east until you spot the shipping yard. Walk inside to find a crashed Thornton and the body of a girl. But not any girl, a bride-to-be. But before you sit crisscross applesauce and listen to me speak, be sure to check her out. Her pockets, that is. The girl has a unique pair of Tier 5 glasses, the final piece to the fixer's set. So how did it all go wrong? Well, it starts with Víbora, a local fixer. That night, V didn't want wedding bells. He wanted the bride. So he hired Danny to do the job. And Danny klept her once the guests were too drunk or dosed to notice. But good guests never let their brides get taken. Remember that for your next wedding, friends. A chase ensued, and Danny took them on a run, burning rubber faster than Hugh Hefner. But why is she here now? Well, Danny's last words hint at what happened. It seems fireworks started popping, and old Dan was now starting to get pissed off. In the madness of the chase, a bullet likely found its mark, the bride in the trunk. And of course she was of no use dead. Did Danny make it out, or was he taken somewhere else? One thing's for sure, this wedding didn't end with happily ever after. And at 4, we have Grove Street. Yup, our favorite hot coffee gangsters are back, and they're better than ever in Night City. It's one of my favorite secrets in the game because it's just so simple. Fast travel to Illumincon Jerez and head north to the bridge. There off the side of the highway is a cul-de-sac, and any real GTA chum will recognize it immediately. It's motherfucking Grove Street. I could hear the music already. But I know what you dismissive chubans are thinking. Dude, every gamer thinks a cul-de-sac is automatically Grove Street. But that ain't the only secret here. Make like a chicken and cross the road because there on the other side is a man and a woman. It's Ken Jeong with a thick Hispanic accent, Professor Chang.
I am a Spanish genius!
And if you put on your chismosa ears, you'll hear this.
See,
If I
you're
kill
getting
him
everything mixed now.
or sell him out
Don't
to the
overthink
badges,
this.
I won't make
No
the
más
rent.
hazlo.
Besides, the pinche cabrón has connections to Grove Street.
Did you catch it? Connections to Grove Street. Tell me again this isn't a reference to the game. And what happens when you cross a husband-wife duo queue and accidentally let the wife live? Well, you create number 3, the most dangerous wife in Cyberpunk. Fast travel to Mega Building H4 and follow the road east until it ends. When the path splits, take a right up the ramp and into a storage yard. There you'll find a lonely light blue container. There's tire tracks around it and an eerie feeling when you get close. Chums with Tech 8 can pry it open than a fat kid in chips. And inside, well, it's something terrifying. 2 bodies, one's Frank, the other is Sam. On Frank's body is 2,000 eddies, and on Sam's, his last call with his best friend Susan. They were all part of a crew, a job that led to the death of an officer. And Suze was in trouble now. She was sure it was the wife who kidnapped her. Sam was adamant in getting her help, but she was losing blood fast. The signal was blocked, and Sam had no way of tracking her. Suze was sure the wife also zeroed Frank, and she warned Sam that she'll likely go after him next. In the end, she tried to spill the deets of the cars, but the signal gets cut, and now the tone shifts. It's not Susan talking anymore. I love little secrets like this because it just shows how harsh Night City could be. You freaking go, wifey. And at 2, we have the escape of Seth Miller, and a Tier 5 police uniform for you cop-loving baddies. Fast travel to Illumincon and Jerez, then head east from the fast travel point. There you'll find a crash convoy of NCPD vehicles, and more officers than your local Krispy Kreme. It's pretty crazy. You can loot the bodies for some weapons and random goods, but the main treasure is a Tier 5 badge code, perfect for you popo-loving cosplayers. And on one body is a shard that sums up the scene. Turns out this convoy was transporting a prisoner, NC-34900, Seth Miller. Seth was convicted of 3 counts of first-degree murder, and he was being moved from the facility in Rancho over to the Glen. Seth had ties to 6th Street, and with San Domo being their stomping grounds, NCPD beefed up security. But clearly it wasn't enough. To take down a convoy is no easy feat. Maybe we'll hear of Seth in the future? I'd love to see these little stories brought back up in the sequel. What do you think? Now my friends, my favorite secret in Santo Domingo, pulp fiction. This ass-blasting masterpiece is one of my top films of all time, and I need you to comment below if you agree, so I know who to invite to my wedding. Fast travel to Rancho Coronado North, then head south on Sequoia until you spot the brown buildings on your left. Walk up the stairs and into the first balcony. There you'll find the body of a boxer and a corpo in a suit. This man is Butch, and this Vincent back. Vince was talking to his boss Marcellus about Butch. Apparently Butch was a boxer, and he had just killed the other guy in his recent match. He clocked him just right and killed him, but Marcellus had big money on the line. The match was rigged more than Jake Paul versus Tyson, and Butch the boxer was supposed to lose. So in a rage, he ordered Vince to wipe him, which led to the showdown here. It's an obvious reference to one of the stories of Pulp Fiction, where Butch Coolidge, a retired boxer, strikes a deal with Marcellus to rig a match. Butch double crosses him, and Marcellus sends Vincent to off him. John Travolta dies, there's a man wearing my Friday night outfit, and there's a big katana fight at the end. Oh, and what's on the bodies in the game? Katanas. The characters even look like the ones from the story. To the dev that snuck this Easter egg in, I love you.